My video for May the 4th, 2020 is number 3444. The title is Call Them What They Really Are, Tyrants. A Facebook friend sent me a short article just after I posted my video for May the 3rd. It reiterates what I was taught in school about human rights. Today, those rights are under attack as never before. Our fundamental freedoms are clear: freedom of speech, religion, assembly, privacy, and travel. Despite the actions of police and local courts, higher courts have ruled that Americans have a right to assemble and travel without being harassed. The First Amendment to the United States Constitution, quote, "Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble, and to petition the government for a redress of grievances," end quote. And the 14th Amendment, quote, "The right of a citizen to travel upon the public highways and to transport his property thereon in the ordinary course of life and business is a common right which he has under his right to enjoy life and liberty, to acquire and possess property, and to pursue happiness and safety. It includes the right in so doing to use the ordinary and usual conveyances of the day," end quote. I had no intention of going here with the video that I'm now recording, but I had just finished uploading my previous video and responding to the birthday greetings and messages on Facebook Messenger when this one just popped up right at the right time. And by the way, as I'm looking at myself in the camera, or the image on the computer screen that the camera is feeding back to me, I realize that my face is a lot more red than it was. I spent quite a bit of time in the sun yesterday talking to a family with a teenage boy that had a broken arm, and I had commented on his broken arm, and we ended up in conversation for probably a half an hour, the three of us, the four of us, the three of them and me. And it was quite an interesting conversation. They were originally from Michigan, but they live here in Florida now, and they were just enjoying, as I was enjoying, the boats on the river, and we were right there on the Indian River here in Melbourne, Florida. And it was, again, it was interesting. But the idea of human rights is probably more important now than ever, and they are being violated by what we call our government, which I know as the mind control system. The people that go into government are people that want to control other people. That's the problem, folks. Most of them, when I say they, I have to clarify, because some people actually do go into government wanting to help the people. They don't usually do very well, like Cynthia McKinney and Dennis Kucinich and others that have been truth speakers. They get shut down by the tyrants that want to run everything, that want to control us. They do not like the principle of human rights and freedom to pursue our lives the way we want, so as much as we don't hurt others. They hurt others. They are not freely exercising rights. They are abusing their freedom and in a criminal manner. And they hold high positions, so they get away with it. I've talked about this so many times. I've reiterated it again and again, trying to get people to wake up. And as I talk to some of the elderly people that live here, and I'm an elderly person too, but somehow I don't see myself as elderly the same way I see a lot of the people that live in the building where I live, or the buildings, I should say, not just one. There's three of the three buildings in this complex. And I'm just one, and the tallest one of the three. Anyway, folks, there needs to be accountability. And who holds our leaders accountable? This is the question that plagues my mind over and over and over, because I see what's going on. I see the violation even of our own Constitution. And some of them would say the Constitution is just a goddamn piece of paper, to quote, I think it was George Bush, Boy Bush, not the father, but the son. But the Bushes have been criminals for a long time. They weren't even Bushes. That was a new name that they gave themselves. They were people that worked in Germany under the Nazi regime, and the Nazi regime was a terrible thing. There was so much mass murder and stuff that went on at that time. Was it blown out of proportion, as some suggest? Probably. We've been lied to about everything, and the lies always serve an agenda of those that want to control us. How are we going to get our human rights back? How are we going to reestablish freedom for everyone to live what we would think would be a normal life? But we have a new norm that's going on right now, and it's an insane norm. And I hope and pray that it doesn't continue. I hope and pray that the criminals are really being brought to justice, that these pedophiles that do unspeakable things to children are finally brought to justice. I mean, this has been a practice of the so-called elite for a long time, and it's infiltrated our politics, our religion, and all aspects of our human culture. They've taken over most of our press so that we don't have a free press anymore. 5 major corporations control all of the mainstream media, and they lie to us all the time. They are tyrants, folks, and they have a dark agenda, and the agenda does not benefit you and me or most of the human race. It is not made to benefit us. It is made to keep us enslaved, to keep us bound to a system that is a system of control. It's a control grid. It does not allow freedom. It only allows rights that they feel they can grant. And it's not about anybody else granting us our rights. They are supposedly God-given rights, which is why I pray for God to uphold our rights, to stand for humans and for humanity. Not even just on planet Earth. If this is going on in other places, it needs to be universal. We need to stop the tyrants. That they are exercising freedoms that are not theirs. They are exercising a freedom to enslave others, and that is a violation of what to me should be common sense, shouldn't it? I would think so. But most people don't get it. Most people just are so unaware. And as I discussed with this young family from Michigan, now in Florida, yesterday, I realized how much common ground there is, but we don't communicate much with each other. And that's the problem. We need to start talking to one another and listening. Thank you for listening to me in this video. Namaste.